Wow, he called you out.
Hey, Mike, go share it right now, Mike.
Huh?
Go share it right now, will you? Hey, guys.
Hello, we're live.
I got a Funko Pop pen tonight.
Of who?
It's of a He-Man character.
Oh, I thought it was Chucky at first from far away.
Oh, God. I hope we don't hear the words Chucky tonight at all. But we might. I don't know. So, we have our special guest, of course, Gregory here tonight, who says D&G Explorers on it.
Yep. I forgot to change the name. It's okay. I'm part of the D&G Explorers. It's okay.
Hey, you're pulling a Mike gimmick, trying to get those extra subs in there any way you can.
Oh my gosh.
So, but listen. So, Gregory, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Just relaxing, trying to stay positive from all the horrible news and everything. But yeah, trying to just keep busy and try to have fun and be on here and have fun tonight.
Right. For everybody who doesn't know, Gregory does live in California, but you're not close to the fires.
No, we're about 5 hours away. I do have some family down there. I haven't talked to them in years, but don't know how everything's going. Hopefully they're okay, but just wishing everybody, well, and hopefully they get put out really fast.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. Mike, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I think I'm doing all right. Somebody's working me like a dog over here, but other than that, I'm doing all right.
Mike, we got 8 people in here right now with all the gimmicks and everything gone. We got 8 people to start our show.
Well, we really got 2. We got 2 because I got 6 devices fired up.
Oh, I was going to say, this is more people than Lovey Fat Life starts off in the first 2 minutes on their live. So
somebody's really cruising for a bruising tonight, I can tell you that.
Hey, I got my Halloween Resurrection hat on. I got my Trick or Treat shirt on. Hey, did you see what Old Restless said, Mike? He said, Josh of the Dead and keeping it real, Mike. Yeah, I'm keeping the gimmick names alive. That's what Old Restless just said.
He'd call me Greg Scary. I'll take that.
Greg Skellington. Is that what they call you?
No, Greg Scary, he said.
So Old Restless says, I think I know Mike and Josh's favorite franchises. And he might. Mike, he might, because he is an avid watcher of our channel, so he might know it. And of course,
So this is, let's just make sure we clear everything up, because Gregory and I was talking about this. This is our favorite. This is not what we think's the best. It's our favorite.
I think they're the best too, Mike. So
I don't think that.
So I did mine by tier. So number 8 is they're all my favorites, but number 8 is like my farthest favorite to
right. That's how I did mine.
1. Number 1 being my favorite.
And
yeah.
I think these are, listen, I don't necessarily think these are the best, Mike, honestly, but they are my favorites. And I did them like Gregory did. Michelle said number 1 fan, Old Restless. That's right. Ventures Ahead, my wife is Michelle. And Amadeus is right there, and there's who is the other one? Is there another Josh that comes on quite a bit too? So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I have to admit, Old Restless is number 1. I mean, Sean Clark and him are right there together. I mean, right. Well, Cody Leeds. I mean, all those guys are knocking down our doors. So, Mike. So, do you want to explain to people how we're going to do this tonight, ranking these? Yeah, so what we're going to do tonight is we got the old randomizer wheel of names, but we're going to put 1 through 8 on it. And I'm praying number 1 doesn't come up first, but
oh my gosh,
it's going to be random, 1 through 8. And then each one of us will say how it ranks in our favorites individually from 1 to 8. So if we pull out, for example, number 8, then Josh would say what his favorite number 8 is, Greg, and then I would. That's right. And I'm a little bit different from the past, but similar. I'm sure there's going to be some similarities here, but I absolutely think not.
I'm going to be shocked if Josh and I don't have the same number 1, but we'll see.
Michelle said that we can respin it if number 1 comes up, Mike. She is our thumbnail expert on Real Dead, so
Yeah, but you told me no. Remember, I said I want to go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to build up the climax of the show at the very end to keep people engaged. But Josh goes, no, well, if it's just the way it turns out that way.
Why? How about we all have a wild card, and if a number comes up, we say we want to use our wild card, you have to do a respin.
Huh?
What now?
So if a number,
I can put some kind of wild card in here, and if it jumps in here, we can.
Oh no, I mean if a number comes up, but you don't want to say that right away, you say wild card, and then you got to respin it again.
Or let's just go with whatever comes up.
Josh. Well, let's just watch it. We're going to shoot our wad right off the bat. Number 1's going to be number 1.
Okay, let's go.
All right, let's share the screen here.
I hope you have plenty of Kleenex, Mike.
We got some socks, if not. Okay. So
wait a minute.
We're going to spin this randomizer here, and let's see which number we got first here.
Josh, you're already burping. Come on,
I think it's number 1. I think it's 6.
See, Mike. Okay, it's number 6. So, Gregory, let's start with you. What is your number 6 franchise? Top 8, guys. What's your number 6?
So my number 6 is a Friday the 13th series.
Okay.
I do enjoy them. They're not the best. Like they're hit and miss with some of them. But they're fun to watch, and they really give you that old horror classic feel until you get to like the later ones, of course. But like the first maybe 1 through 4, maybe 5 have that old time feel. So I enjoy them, but that's why I put number 6.
Okay. Well, my number 6 is a franchise that I enjoy. Cheesy. Awesome action, though, and I love them. And that is the Resident Evil franchise.
Oh, my gosh. I totally forgot about that.
And there's a bunch of them. And I saw every single one of them in the theater. That's also why I think I like it a lot. Because I was 8. They didn't come out. I think when the first one came out, it was like 02, 03. So I saw it in the theater, and then I saw every single one of them after that in the theater because I like the video games. Plus, I just like, Mila Jovovich.
Yeah.
So yeah, Resident Evil.
I've seen them all in the theater too. Yeah,
is my number 6.
So I
for mine. I kind of tried to go outside the box. I didn't try to pick all the mainstream stuff. I have some mainstream, but I tried to go somewhat outside the box a little bit.
Well, it should be your favorites, right? I mean, it's not intentionally trying to go outside the box.
That's an honorable mention for me.
These favorites are. So what I did was, how I did this was, I wrote down a list of about 15 or 16 that are my favorites, and then I kind of picked and whittled it down from there.
Yeah, that's an honorable mention for me because I totally forgot about that.
So my number 6 is the Evil Dead.
Okay.
So I like the Evil Dead, and that was hard for me to put it at 6. I really wanted it a little higher. I'm a sucker for the old school Evil Dead. Ash, love it. So there's a little bit of comedy in them, a little bit of bloodiness, a little bit of history there. Yeah, there you go, Josh. So yeah, Evil Dead is mine. And I don't know that I don't like any of the movies. I think all of them's, at least average, if not above average to me.
So
it's 3, right?
So Michelle asked this question. She says, "Wait, well, what is considered a franchise? Like how many movies in a series? 3, at least 3 or more."
That's a good question or good comment there, Michelle. Because
that is
earlier we did say 2, and we said, well, let's come back. It has to be at least 3, at the minimum 3.
Old Restless said 5 movies, Mike.
What?
Well, maybe we'll do another one down the road with 5 or more. We could. Hey, this is a gimmick channel. We can come up with every kind of gimmick.
Yep. I mean, next we'll be on here eating chicken sandwiches while we're live, Mike. And
hey, the next month in February, we need 9 people in here because we're doing Hollywood squares, except real dead squares. So we need 9 people here and try to do tic-tac-toe.
Hey, Johnny Horror, how are you doing, dude?
Johnny Horror's in the house. Good to see you, Johnny Horror.
You got a bunch of cons planned, I bet.
I didn't think that Evil Dead was funny until Army of Darkness myself, but
number 2 had some funny stuff, like at the end of the movie in Evil Dead 2 where she's the little thing's like, I'll swallow your soul, and he's like, swallow this, boom, and like shoots her head.
I haven't seen that one in a long time. I'll have to watch that again.
Hey, so let's go ahead and spin that wheel, Mike.
Yep, let's do it here. All right. Oh, here it comes. I told you it was going to be. Oh.
See, Mike?
Okay,
by the way, the spin the wheel is pre-recorded. I already pre-recorded this, so I know the number.
Oh, yeah, right.
No.
Someone else go first.
Okay, I'll go first. Okay, so my number 8. Listen, I love the first 2 in this franchise. There's only 3 movies so far, but the third one is atrocious, but I love it. But it's really bad, and I know that. It has one of the worst line deliveries ever when the main vampire in it, Dracula, says, "Blade, prepare to die."
Oh, gosh.
Oh, gosh.
So that's how he says it. That's how he says it. He says,
Blade,
prepare to die. So, like, seriously, Blade series, the first one was Stephen Dorff as the main vampire killer. And that's where we get the classic line where Wesley Snipes says, "Some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill." I love that line. And then number 2 is awesome. You get Ron Perlman in there. You get some other characters that I really like where he actually has to join a pack of vampires to hunt a more vicious vampire. I love that. And yeah, Blade. I saw all these in the theater as well. I love them. So that's why it's my number 8.
Yeah, I like 1 and 3. 2, I don't remember too much about. I need to watch them over again.
Oh, yeah. Blade 2 is awesome.
Mike, you can go if you want.
Well, I'm really going to shock you guys when I say this one, and I'm going to get probably a lot of hate. Maybe more hate than Michelle did on Nosferatu saying it sucked. I don't know if anybody will ever get that much hate. God, poor Michelle. At least she told her opinion, though, right?
I know, right?
Right. She gave her opinion, and that's what we wanted. We don't want a bunch of suckers up in here.
Hey, thanks, Johnny.
So I'm going to shock you guys with this one, and it's mainly because to me they're scary. Now, the acting's not the greatest.
Oh boy, to be rated.
I am a found footage guy. So if you're in the chat here, guess who the found footage I'm getting ready to say is.
I think I know.
All right, Gregory, who am I going to say?
Well, if it's found footage type movie, I'm thinking maybe Paranormal Activity.
No, but I did just go back a few hours ago and watch the first one again. I forgot about the ending of it, and it was really good. So I'm gonna go watch 2 tonight afterwards. But
told you, Mike.
I got 1 more left to watch of those, I think.
I'm gonna say one here that I bet you some of you haven't even watched all 3 of them.
Johnny Horror says VHS, Mike.
VHS is a very good series. In fact,
I think so. I agree, Johnny Horror.
It may be it may need to jump in at number 8 on my list, but I'm gonna say
Mike. Amadeus says the Blair Witch Project, Mike.
That's not a couple of them.
Only 2. That's only.
I'm gonna go.
No, there was 3, Gregory.
Oh.
I don't know if that's all 1 word or 2 words.
What is it?
Hill House.
I've never.
Hey, Meg. Yeah, it's really good, Gregory.
Hill House. One of the 3 is but man, the black and white clown dude in that movie and how he just shows up throughout the shows just freaks me out. And I'm telling you, right there behind Art the Clown, to me, he's a scary clown. I mean, he's even scarier than Pennywise to me. Hey, Meg, how you doing? But Hill House, it's a cheap found footage. But something about that scares me and my wife to death. I mean, I don't know. It just freaks me out. But they've only put 3 out. They're working on 4 now.
Mike, we have our first super chat, Mike. $9.99.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Adventures Ahead, whoever that is.
She said, loving the live so far. Now, the reason why we can get super chats now is me and Mike recently were able to monetize Real Dead, and it's really cool.
Yeah, thank you.
That's awesome. I've never seen that series. I don't think I've even heard of that series.
Johnny Horror says Hell House LLC is good. Yeah, I admit it was. I enjoyed it. We need to watch further on movies.
The third one is kind of like a prequel and a sequel. You get to hear a little bit of how it started, and it follows up on some past ones. So I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of them.
Michelle says never seen Hell House. Yes, she has. She watched it with me. Remember the clown in the basement, and then it moved to the steps, Michelle? Jeez, she don't remember nothing. Too many gummies. So listen.
He just called you out.
Man. Is it Friday night gummy night? Friday night gummy night.
I'm just joking with her. Okay, so let's spin that wheel, Mike.
Oh, I haven't said mine yet.
Yeah, we gotta remember Gregory here.
Gregory, it's okay, Josh. Buddy. Nobody cares anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry, Gregory. I thought you did win.
No, I was the last one because I said I didn't want to go first. So my number 8 is number 8, right?
Yep.
Okay. So my number 8, I put Insidious, the Insidious series. I know Josh doesn't.
These are horrible. These are horrible.
You haven't watched them yet, have you? You told me you never watched them.
We did. I did watch them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like it. Like the third one was kind of like a prequel type mixed thing, but the last one, The Red Door, I actually liked how they ended the series. It was kind of like father and son, against evil. Like the son has to save the father instead of the father saving the son. So, and I know, what's his name? Patrick Wilson. He is in another series as well, which is one of my honorable mentions. But for Insidious, that's my number 8. I think they're fun movies, and that one Tiptoe Through the Tulip song, I can't stand that song. No.
That's Tiny Tim, right? Tiny Tim?
Yes.
I thought the very beginning of the first one, I really liked the beginning of the movie. I thought the tail end it kind of went a little bit, but like when you see in the room when the baby monitor heard the sounds and then went up there and saw somebody walk by the window,
yeah,
that freaked me out.
Yeah,
but to me, like 2 and 3, when they start going into these other dimensions, and I don't know, it just lost me. But listen, I get it because people are diehard Insidious fans.
Right
out there, and I got to try to respect what they think about.
So
Mike, little man Anthony's in the house. How you doing, Anthony?
Your son is here, and also, did you see Johnny Horror said the creator of Hell House was at Chiller last year and had all the clown suits with him? Wow. Like, you'd have loved that. You would have loved that, Mike.
I would have loved that. Yeah, I like the Hell House series, and I can't wait for the next one to come out.
And then Michelle said, "I don't like Insidious." Yeah, I didn't either.
I didn't like that monster thing that comes out of the wall, and then you see him when they do the Tiptoe Through the Tulips thing. He's like in a DJ booth looking thing or something. That thing freaked me out. So
okay, let's spin that wheel then, Mike. Yeah, Gregory. I understand it has a lot of movies. Insidious does have a lot of movies. I think I'm in a minority. A lot of people love that first movie.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Oh boy.
Are you ready? You can go first this time, Gregory. Oh, 5. Oh no, 7. Yeah.
Oh, is it 7 or 5?
It was 7.
Okay. Go ahead, Gregory. You go first this time.
So mine is
No. Yeah, it was 7 because it took it off the board and it left 5 left. That's why I showed
okay. Okay, we're sure it's 7?
Yep.
It's 7? Okay, 7.
Yep. Oh, can I just say one thing real quick? Michelle does make a good point here. She says, to be fair, we didn't watch Insidious until like 2 years ago. So see, that is true. Maybe if we would have watched it when it first came out and it was like real, like kind of like it was kind of like ahead of its time a little bit with that. But since then they've come out with so many movies that are just like it that we're probably burnt out on it. So maybe that's why we have the view of it, Gregory, that we do. And but that's it. So
you should watch the whole series if you haven't seen all of them. I would watch the whole thing because the last one has a lot of changes, and I wasn't really happy with what they did with some of the characters. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" But all in all, I think it was a good ending. So it was a good series.
Okay.
But my number 7 is. Hi, I'm Chucky. Want to play?
Okay.
So, yep, I like the Chucky series. Some of them are hit and miss. They kind of get kind of silly after the third one. I think the third one was a good final ending to it, but then of course Don Mancini didn't want to end it. You know, that's his baby, that's his bread and butter, so he just keeps making more and more. And then they came out with 3 seasons of the Chucky show, which I haven't finished the third season, but then that got canceled. But they do plan on making a movie that picks up for where that one left off. So they're imaginative, they're fun, you know, they're cheesy in a lot of ways, but he has a lot of good one-liners. Him and Freddy have the really good one-liners in horror movies, I think.
So, Gregory, Johnny Horror says, Greg, why is Friday the 13th so low on your list? LOL.
So, well, I'm going from, like, they're all favorites, but, like, number one would be, like, my favorite, and then going outward. So, Friday the 13th, it's like old school horror, I was saying. So, like, for most of them anyway. And then Chucky came along after Friday the 13th. So, but that was still, it's about a doll coming to life. I mean, that's scary enough. But
I mean, me and Mike reviewed the first Child's Play, and I was very impressed with actually how good it was and how tense it was. Remember that, Mike? It was actually the first one's actually really good.
The very first one, when he looks in the back of the doll and looks for the batteries, and the batteries aren't in there. I watched it not long ago, maybe within the last year, and it gave me cold chills when that part came up.
I do like 1 and 2 actually. He looks so different in the second one. He looks more realistic looking. Skibodi. What is Skibodi?
Yeah, Fear Factor Haunts, welcome in the house. I don't know if we've seen you before, but welcome in.
Yep.
So, Josh, what you got? Number 7.
Number 7 is the Alien franchise for me. I just think there's a lot good here, a lot. And Alien Romulus really restored my faith into the next chapter of the Alien movies. So yeah, I love a lot of these movies. I still am a champion for Alien 2. That's my favorite one, and I know a lot of people will pick the first. A lot of people will pick Alien 1 because they like how claustrophobic it is, and like it actually is like a horror movie, and the second one's more of action. But
I love the second one.
For me, Alien 2 is my favorite, but Alien Romulus, dude, shot up the list. And then I like all the other stuff. I like Covenant. I even like the Prometheus movie. I like Prometheus. I mean, so I would say Alien's number 7 for me. I've always really enjoyed them. And
that's kind of more out from your list there. I'm surprised.
Yep. Yeah. Well, that tells you how high these other ones are.
Yep.
So number 7 for me, initially, to be honest with you, wasn't on my top 8 list. And I kind of I had it written down, but I didn't rank it. And I was like, I can't believe I didn't rank this. Because it brings me back to my younger days. And, I'm 53, getting ready to be 54 years old. So it takes me back to, younger days. But this is going to be, to me, one of the characters to me is on the Mount Rushmore of horror. And that's going to be Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay.
Freddy, some of those movies are really awful. And I'll say that for several of the franchises coming up. But this, again, is our favorite. It's not what we're saying is the best. I love the one-liners of Freddy in the movies. I thought one was really good. Dream Warriors was good. There's some other ones in there are good. And I'd like to see some future stuff with Nightmare on Elm Street. It's hard to beat the OG himself.
Yeah.
But,
I just think the concept of Freddy is much scarier than Michael Myers or like Jason, because like everybody has to sleep.
Everybody has to sleep.
That's why that concept is so scary, Hey, Meg, I want to bring this up real quick. Meg said, "Is Alien horror?" Love those movies. Yes, it is considered horror sci-fi for sure. But yeah, Mike, are you all done discussing yours?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
The only thing I didn't like about Nightmare on Elm Street is like right when they close their eyes, oh, they're suddenly asleep. Oh, they're dreaming right away. You don't even go into your REM cycle that fast for sleeping. So like,
okay,
right
Gregory, are you going by like real logic just for this movie because you just loved a talking doll movie?
Well,
so,
I'm just saying, when you fall asleep, it's like it takes more than a second to like. I just close my eyes. Oh, I'm asleep.
Wait a minute, Johnny Horror.
Johnny Horror is calling you out, Josh.
Oh,
hey, listen,
there you
Johnny
go.
Horror. Well, Johnny Horror,
It does have the whole Marvel, the whole Marvel, yeah.
But like,
Josh got called out too.
It's way darker.
It has vampires though. I mean, it's one of those I think can kind of like, to me, a couple of the Aliens is horror, but a couple of the Alien movies are more sci-fi to me.
Right. Or Alien 2 is just like basically straight action. So, but I think it's one of those that walks a line, Mike, and I will admit that, but it's got vampires in it, and I think the first movie, like, they tried to legitimately make a couple things kind of like scary, I feel like. The nightclub at the beginning. Wait, what is in this? Wait a minute. That's spoilers.
Even your own wife is calling you out on this, Josh.
I say it walks a wire, and I'm taking the wire. I put it on my
list. You go ahead and just keep walking, Josh. Let's see what we got here. Oh, we're jumping up high. Is it 3?
Oh, it is 3.
That's 3.
It's 3. I could see it.
With this rigged wheel that Mike did.
It barely like went over an inch over to 3. I'm calling it. It's 3.
I know, Johnny Horror. We joke around a lot here, Johnny.
Yeah, we like having a good time, Johnny. I mean, hey, after a couple of drinks right here, it doesn't matter.
Oh, I already had some champagne.
Oh, y'all hiding it down there. Well, I got Buffalo Trace right now on this thing. My.
Do you want me to go first? What is this one? Number 2 or 3?
Josh, you want to talk. Go ahead.
Number 3.
3. Yeah.
Number 3 for me is one of my favorites. The Saw franchise is number 3 for me. And listen, it's not easy for a movie to be 10 movies in and really make one of the best movies in the franchise, Mike. Saw 10 is one of the best movies in the Saw franchise. At number 10, that normally does not happen. But look at Jason X.
Yeah, prequel, but the Sound of Music.
Yeah. But so yeah, the Saw franchise. I can't wait to. Supposedly, there's another one coming out this year. We'll wait and see. I don't know, but yeah, Saw. Love it. I love it. I love everything.
I love how Johnny Horror is giving us shit.
Yeah.
Megan.
All the rest of us gives us shit. Johnny Horror is giving us shit. I love it. Hey, this is the thing about movies and franchises and what you like is we're not all the same cookie cutter design and we all like different things. That's what I love about the whole horror genre.
That's right. Yep.
Love it. Love it.
Okay, you're up, Mike. Go ahead.
All right. So number 3 for me is The Sound of Music. Love the number 3 for me is a new franchise.
Like the Revenge of the Von Tramps?
It's a new franchise, and one of the movies is meh, but 2 of the 3 I think are really good, and they're already working on the next one. Mine is Terrifier.
Oh, gosh.
I love Art the Clown. I told you about my thing about clowns a while ago.
Mike wants them to make Terrifier 4 during Easter, Gregory. So
no,
there's actually more than 3. If you go back and look at some of the other shorts and everything else, but I Terrifier 1 is low budget, entry level. 2 and 3 to me I love them. So I'm there.
I just have to say, I have seen all 3. Probably won't watch them again. Third one, I definitely will never watch again. I'm not easily offended, but there was like one thing, and Mike, you probably know what it is, where it was kind of offensive what they did. And Yeah. I don't like horror during Christmas time, and that was just a little bit much. So I will watch the fourth one just to see where the story ends, because it's supposed to be the last one, but that's it. That it was just a little too much. I think it was worse than Saw.
Wait, Michelle said I asked what a franchise was because 28 days, 28 weeks later, but it's not considered a franchise until 28 years. That's right. That's right. And then you see Old Restless says, but I think Greg only likes but I think Greg only likes Scream 3 so much that that's his favorite franchise.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, you're up.
Nothing wrong with Scream 3.
Yeah, Johnny Horror said Terrifier is bringing back that slashers 100%, Mike, and you agree with that.
I agree, but like Amadeus doesn't like so. He says, I think it's so overrated. And I can see that. I mean, I'm a guilty pleasure into cheap horror movies, you know?
It's more than slasher to me. It's like,
I mean, the Winnie the Pooh franchises could be number one for me. I mean, you just never know.
Okay.
I won't even watch those. My number 3 is, you already said it, Nightmare on Elm Street. I grew up watching these. I remember when they were like on TV USA channel and all that kind of stuff. That's when I first saw them. But and then on Halloween they always showed the first one. But I just like, you know how Wes Craven did different camera techniques, and they had like a whole room that would actually spin. They would have to rotate it and flip all the props and stuff to make it look like it was upside down. So a lot of work went into the first couple of them, and then they kind of got hokey a little bit. But New Nightmare is actually very cool, I think, because it was like him coming into the real world. So that was kind of, you know, out there, but it was cool. So that's my number 3.
Gregory, Old Restless said absolutely nothing wrong with Scream 3, laughing out loud.
As he laughs.
And then Old Restless says Mike is deep in the Blood and Honey universe. Meg says yes. Nightmare.
Hey, I'm going to watch that Peter Pan when it comes out. I'm watching it.
What? They're making a
the trailer for that looks like the acting is decent and it looks scary, man. I mean, anytime you take a guy trying to kidnap kids and do bad things, that's scary. That's scary stuff.
So wrong what you just said.
Well, think about it. Did Peter Pan
Nightmare on Elm Street? Freddy Krueger
kidnap children, basically.
Yeah, I mean, he's killing kids and killing people. Yeah, teenagers. I mean, they're still kids, right? They're under 18.
Yeah. Let's spin that wheel. Is everybody gone? Do we need to spin the wheel?
Yeah.
Oh, here it comes. I told you we done shot it. Still 30 minutes left. One. Uno.
Yep. Mike, do you want to wait? No, Gregory, how about you go first? Wait, let's see what Michelle said real quick. She says Mike will have to see what the Rotten meter is first before he sees Peter Pan. That is true.
It'll be 0 and 0.
No.
That is true. Michelle's
right. Not true. It's not true. Y'all making shit up.
It'll be Critics 0 and Tomato Splat 0 too.
Wait a minute. Amadeus says, please be Saw as one of our number ones. Well, I already said Saw, so you know it's not my number one. Gregory, you're up.
So I think mine was already said by none other than Old Restless Scream. Woohoo! That is my number one franchise.
Y'all young kids.
No.
Well, Mike, I'm going to piggyback. Mine Scream 2.
I knew it.
I knew y'all were so young.
Mike. It's the case. There's no franchise that has that just goes along with a story better than Scream. None of the other big franchises have done that, Mike. They just haven't.
They copied everybody. What are you talking about?
Whatever.
They make fun of other Scream or other horror movies.
I'll be right back.
Genre. Yeah. And I mean, just how Wes Craven made this whole Scream universe was awesome. No one else has ever done it before.
And I even think 5 and 6 were pretty good. They weren't. It wasn't like a huge step down.
Lost Boys was good. I mean, there was one in there like, but Lost Boys was good. But
the fact that they're already filming, what is it, day 2, I think now, or day 3, I think, of Scream 7 is awesome. And I don't want to know anything about it. I am going to try very hard not to look at any news, trailers, nothing. I don't want to know anything. I just want to go and watch it and be surprised. This is one I'm really going to try not to watch anything about.
Okay. Mike, you're up for your number 1, Mike.
Y'all want to take a guess at what I'm going to say?
Halloween.
Y'all want to take a guess?
Halloween.
Chat, do you want to take a guess?
Halloween.
I said Halloween.
Yeah, the 2 sequels to Lost Boys are kind of atrocious, actually.
It's Halloween. That's my favorite.
Yep.
We all knew that.
It's my favorite. It's the OG.
Yeah. I mean, that's respectable, no doubt.
You know me. I'm a Halloween guy, right?
Yeah.
So nothing else. This is a mic drop. Walking off.
And what movie was in Scream, Mike? What movie was in Scream?
That would be Scream copied Halloween by saying, let's bring that name of that franchise in here so that we can get the Halloween rub.
No, they were watching Halloween at the party.
Nobody says Scream influenced them. It's always Halloween influenced them.
Listen, Mike, my wife said, I mean, the first one holds up so well. It does. I do admit, me and Michelle have went back and watched the original Halloween several times, and it is really good. Honestly, it does hold up, and it's really good.
I want to say something real quick though, because I know none of y'all said Terrifier, and I know Greg's not going with Josh hadn't seen it. Terrifier is elevated horror, so if you're not into elevated horror, you will not like it.
Whatever. Hey,
Terrifier is a lot deeper than what you think. I'm telling you, number 3, it gets into this whole Dante's Peak, and it's really deep with.
Oh, I love Dante's Peak type stuff. That's awesome.
It's into heaven and hell and different levels in hell, and it's pretty deep.
Hey, Old Restless says, who is better, Dr. Loomis or Billy Loomis? Billy Loomis, duh. Billy Loomis.
Whatever.
Okay, let's spin that wheel, man.
You can tell I'm the old head in here because I got all the old OGs up here.
Old Restless said elevated horror. Haha. Mike, we never did a video talking about getting an argument about elevated horror.
That was a horrible
we all
spin.
did.
That was a horrible spin.
4.
Okay, Mike, you're up first this time, buddy.
Let's see here. All right, so number 4 for me is on my little note. Let me look and see what the Rotten Tomato score was on the whole franchise average. Number 4 for me has been said earlier, and it's the Alien franchise.
Yeah, it's really good. You actually just recently went and watched all of them, Mike, right?
Right. Yep. There was a couple there I had not seen, and before Romulus came out, I did want to go back and see them. And I do think they get into a little bit of science fiction in there, but I think I could pull out 3 of them that's kind of got the horror element to it of the 3. So I think it's a good franchise, and I look forward to seeing a new movie come out.
Yeah, Alien Romulus was really good. I thought it was very well made.
Yep.
Megan, I do have to tell you, Megan, if you don't like gore, you're not going to like the Terrifier series.
Nope, you're not. I'm going to tell you right now. It's
especially the Christmas one was very disturbing. I only watched it to continue the story. I'll never watch it again.
All right. Is Greg, you want to go next?
Yeah.
For number 4, you just said it before. Haha. It is Halloween, the Halloween series.
Okay.
And my favorites are the ones with Jamie Lee Curtis, of course, except for Resurrection. In my mind, that's like an alternate universe, doesn't exist. H2O should have been the all number 1 end to her story.
Resurrection counts.
Not in my mind. It's a horrible movie. It's not that great.
Man, I met the guy that played Michael Myers in Resurrection. He is funny as hell, man. Mike, wait till you meet that guy. He is awesome.
But the movie just is not that great.
There's some real stinkers into Halloween. I mean, we have to admit, there's some stinkers in there.
5, 6, both those were horrible.
There's some horrible Friday the 13th too.
Halloween Ends is the best.
Oh man, Greg, you're gonna be off this channel. Mike, is he allowed on our channel anymore?
It was nice having you in here, Greg. We'll see you next month.
Last 15 minutes were really good.
He's still talking about it.
Mike took you off of the screen. That was funny.
I didn't even realize I was off the screen. I was still talking.
So yeah. Okay. Gregory, you said Halloween, right? For 4?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Number 4 for me is actually a series that I really like a lot. It doesn't technically have an antagonist. I mean, it does, but you don't ever really see it. There's a new one coming out this year, and that is Final Destination. I love these movies, especially the first 2. And actually, I think they're all decent. I think number 5 isn't as good, but I think they're all pretty decent. And it's a franchise I can just sit down and jam. Me and Michelle just watched 4 or 5, and we had a good time with it. It's just a fun kind of like movie to put on because like the deaths are all kind of fun. So Final Destination's mine.
They're disturbing, but they're hokey. And I guess Tony Todd actually is in the new one.
Good. I'm glad that he filmed his part before he passed.
Yeah. That's what I read, that he was in it. So he's in the credits on IMDb, I think.
So all right, guys, we're down. We're down to 2 left, and we're gonna go ahead. It's either gonna be 5 or 2. So it's gonna be 5.
Hey, Mike.
So at least we got a little bit of what's number 2 up there to end the show.
Yeah, Johnny Horace is Greg. Thank you for your service. Wait. Thank you for your service.
Wow.
Okay,
Until
Mike,
I come back for the next show.
Mike, you're up first this time.
Okay. So number 5 for me is one that's already been said before. It's more of a childhood favorite too. Definitely some stinkers in there, but I've said it a million times, Camp Crystal Lake went to the original filming site of the original one. I'm one of the few that likes the original one before Jason came out.
You put it in Greg's list.
Oh, sorry.
What?
Way too much Buffalo Trace. I apologize. So yeah, Friday the 13th. I mean, it's just old school classic stuff. I like 1, of course. I like 2, 3, and there's there's some good ones in there. There's some stinker ones. I don't like 10 and all the other ones like this.
Dude,
down
Jason
at the bottom.
Takes Manhattan is almost.
I don't like Zombie, even though I like Kane Hodder.
I mean, he has the worst Jason movies. I mean, honestly, he just does, and we like the
7.
guy.
7 was. I like 7.
I like 7, but that's
7 was
out
his
of the
best
4
one,
he
I
did.
think.
Well, Jason X is fun, but it's not a great movie.
Right.
Oh wow.
Hey, Mike. Megs and C's says y'all are doing a great job. I know that I have been watching or been working a lot, but I love y'all. Well, thank you, Megs and C's.
We appreciate it, Meg. Thank you so much. Thank you. So yeah, I mean, it's just old school classic for me. Friday 13th.
That's right. Okay,
love some of them, hate some of them.
I'll go number 5. So number 5 for me is a series that I've loved since I was a kid. And I used to just watch it on TV. So I only really watched the edited version for so long. And the second one, same thing, until I actually got the VHS in somewhere in the mid-90s and actually seen the whole movie and just loved it even more. Not all these in the franchise are good, but I really enjoy them. And that's the Predator franchise. I love the first Predator is almost a perfect movie for me. I seriously have seen it hundreds of times, and I could watch it 100 more. Like, seriously, I love it that much. And the second one is actually underrated, in my opinion. I really like the second Predator. I like Predators, where they go to the Predator Island with I think that one's cool, where the people actually go to the Predator world and get hunted.
Yeah.
The newest one sucked, but not Prey. I mean, the Predator sucked. Prey was excellent, and I look forward to what they do. They're coming out with a new one this year, Predator Badlands. I am looking forward to what they do with it.
I didn't even know about the new one. I like the whole series, actually.
So we got someone here. The Shape of Horror says Jason X was goated. I don't care what anyone says, and that's understandable. I have a really good time with it. I think it's fun. But it's a bad movie.
About what is your favorite franchise. I mean, some people love, like, I'm a big fan of Sleepaway Camp.
Right.
Some of them are horrible. And the very first one, I don't know if I should laugh at it, cry at it, whatever. It's goofy, but it's all about what you like. And some of these, when you were younger and saw these horror movies, it just has that nostalgia about it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right. So, Greg, what is number 5 for you?
So this one was already said, and it is the Saw series. So,
yeah,
okay.
I do, for the most part, like all of them. I liked watching this. I don't necessarily like all the gore, but I do like watching how the stories progressed.
Yes.
And then they kind of got a little outlandish at times after the main character was no longer really there.
Right. Well, kind of like a talking doll, Gregory, or
yeah, okay.
Okay.
Except for like flashbacks and stuff. But then this last one, actually, where they did like a little in-betweener type thing.
I loved it.
Was kind of different. Yeah. So the first one for me is by far the best. I saw it twice in the theater.
It's great.
Because I knew some people. I was like, you got to see this movie, because I was shocked.
The ending to Saw 1 has got to be top 5 endings in a horror movie of all time.
You have no idea. You had no idea the whole time.
It's got to be top 5 of all time. And that's another idea, Mike, for a live top endings in horror movies. You know what I mean?
That could have just been the ending of it, like just game over, bam, and then no more. That would have been a perfect, like, solid ending, but then they made it a franchise. So
right.
But as its own, it's perfect the way it was.
Yeah. And the same guy that is in that movie and directed it is the one that's in The Wolfman coming out?
He's the one that directed and written The Wolfman.
Wow.
Yep, coming up.
Yeah.
Mike, okay. Listen, Mike, I'm having more and more confidence in The Wolfman being good. I'm serious.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. I think it's going to be a fun popcorn movie. I'm not looking for Oscar-worthy performances, but I think Blumhouse might redeem themselves a little bit more. We'll see.
So Michelle says, does the Unbreakable series count? Making my own mental list. I would say the Unbreakable series does not count as horror.
That's not horror, no. But it's a good movie.
But listen,
it could be in the same Blade world with the superhero.
But Split, right? But Split, that does have horror elements in it, and that's in the. But I would say overall, no. The Shape of Horror said Saw is a weird roller coaster of films. I agree with that. Some of them are really good, some of them are bad, and it's funny because like one can be really good, and then the next one be bad, and then the one after that be good again. It's like weird how it can do that. He is totally right there. So Old Restless is sticking to his guns, Mike. He says Wolfman won't be good. You don't know that, Old Restless.
You don't know it's going to be good either, Josh.
Old Restless,
I'm looking forward to it.
By Wolfman
I'm telling you right now, you don't.
You hear what I said? We're sponsored by Wolfman tonight. It's going to be good.
Hey, this is Josh's favorite. This is Josh's favorite last words. And Michelle, tell me if you've heard this. We got to go see it for the channel. We got to get some content out. We got to go see it. I mean, we got to, honey. I mean, we got to at least put 5 videos out a week. We got to go see it.
So Amadeus Grimes said Spiral for the 9th movie is horrible. I agree. I did not like Spiral at all.
I thought it was okay.
Old Restless says Josh signed a deal with Blumhouse. Now it makes sense. Mike, listen, I got to say, I can never say bad things about Blumhouse again, Mike. You know how that is.
They might sponsor you, huh? We'll send you like prequel. You get to see the movies 2 weeks in advance and do a review on it. Can never say nothing bad about it.
So do we only have one left?
Yeah.
We only have one left, right? Number 2?
Michelle said you got to do a live reaction at your car every time you tell her to wait after a movie.
Poor Michelle's over like,
yeah, I do. Well, because I do a live reaction in the car, and she sits there after the movie's over. So I do it a little short. But yeah. So let's just go to number 2. Gregory, you're up.
So my number 2 has already been said as well. It's the Alien franchise.
Nice.
Right next to my number 1, Scream. Sigourney Weaver is and has always been my favorite actress. I love her in her
She's
movies.
A badass in those movies, man.
Even if it's not a horror movie, I still like her. She's a very versatile actress. She's
good in Ghostbusters, and she's good in a lot of stuff. You're right.
She could play basically anything, really, which she has. Drama, comedy, horror, sci-fi, everything. So I actually just watched the movie Copycat with her in it, I think yesterday. I haven't seen that in years. So, and that still is a good movie if you haven't seen it. But Aliens is my favorite out of the whole franchise.
She's so badass in that one, man.
Her in it. Yep.
Oh, she's awesome. So yeah, that's awesome, Gregory. Hey, I'll go next and let Mike go last. My number 2 is the Evil Dead franchise. I love this franchise, and I think along with Scream, I really don't think there's a bad movie in this franchise. Like, there's no movie that's just horrible, like Jason Takes Manhattan or Halloween Ends or whatever, you know? Like, you have Evil Dead 1. It's a low budget, but it's groundbreaking in the things they do in it. And it still has some effective scares. Evil Dead 2 steps it up a notch. It's great. Army of Darkness is comedy and horror. I love that movie. I think it's freaking really quotable. Give me some sugar, baby. I mean, groovy, all of it. Then you have the 13 remake, which I think is it's sadly underrated. It is great, in my opinion. The remake from 2000 is either 2010 or 13. I can't remember what year, but it's great. It's really good in all the atmosphere. The ending where she puts that chainsaw through that thing while it's raining blood is awesome. And then the newest one we had, Evil Dead Rise, I thought did really good, contained in that apartment building, but told an awesome story, which was very good. And the special effects and stuff were just great. The thing at the end was awesome. The big creature. And I look forward to seeing what they do next. So, yep, Evil Dead's my number 2.
So my number 2, it kind of pains me to say this. Because I give Josh a lot of shit about this.
Yep.
And I just gave Greg a bunch of shit about this. Scream is my number 2.
Give in to the Scream.
Other than 3, the rest of the movies are good. Now 3 to me sucks. I hate 3.
Yeah, but would you admit that 3 isn't as bad as some of the lows of Halloween and Friday the 13th?
Oh yeah, I mean, but okay. You know, they're also, they didn't have to go through the whole 80s thing either, man, where you put movies out once a year, you know.
Dude, one of my favorite parts of Scream 3 is when Jay and Silent Bob have a cameo, and they're like, he's like, look, Silent Bob, Connie fucking Chung. And he point at
not even her.
Courtney Cox's character.
So if you just look, I mean, I hate to say this, if you look at our top 3, what are the ones that are the only one that's the same? Is Scream.
Yep.
Scream.
That tells you something.
Yep.
I like 3 just because Sydney got her butt kicked to the point where you almost thought she wasn't going to make it because they didn't know if they were going to do a 4th one. It was supposed to be a trilogy. So I liked it, and I like the comedy in it too.
So Michelle said this live idea, rank zombie movies. That could be one. I love zombie movies personally. I don't know if you do really, but I do.
Which one?
Wait a minute. Old Wrestler says Roman is the best slasher in history. Oh,
He's being facetious.
So I think we need to go through some honorable mentions. Each one of us rotate around because I came up with about 12 to 15 initially.
So Johnny Horror says, surprise, no Texas Chainsaw Massacre, no Hellraiser, and no Hatchet. He's surprised by that.
Hatchet was.
I like all three. I like all three of them. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
fun franchise. It's hokey and B-rated, but it's fun.
Old Restless says Terrifier nowhere to be found on Josh's and Greg's list. I've never seen them, so I can't have them on my list.
And I won't put it on my favorites. They're not my favorite.
He loves the Christmas one where he murders Santa. He loves that.
Sorry, we had technical difficulties again.
Gregory's not going to want to come up.
Hey, they're just, those guys don't know shit. Let's just take them off. They don't know anything what they're talking about. They're young. The old head here was Scream and The Exorcist. Exorcist was not on the list either.
Yeah, you put Exorcist Believer on here, Mike?
Oh my God, that's not as bad as Halloween Ends, right?
You did not just take
it was the same damn guy that did both of them. David Gordon Green.
Mike, what's worse, Exorcist Believer or Halloween Ends? I don't know, man. That's a toss-up.
They're both a freaking dumpster fire. I mean, both of them. Jeez.
Hey, Johnny Horror says Mike is the OG.
I'm an old guy. That means OG for old guy. That's right.
Yeah. Okay, so you want to say some honorable mentions before we get to the audience? What they voted on, Mike?
Well, Michelle asked a question too.
Where?
About psychological. It was up more about psychological. I can think of one series that's psychological.
Hannibal.
She said, "What would be a top psychological franchise?" I mean, Hannibal, like you said.
Red Dragon. Yeah.
Yep. I'd say Hannibal series would definitely be psychological. I don't know what else, but
so while we're going to talk about some real quick, those that are still left in here, which actually
Michelle has spoken, Mike. Halloween Ends is worse.
It does suck so bad.
Except for the 15 minutes at the end.
Hey, Gregory, do you remember the one of pick between me and Mike who went to the theater and spent $100 to see Halloween Ends? I don't remember who it was.
I'm gonna boot y'all's asses again. So
$100.
The ones that are in here, the 11 people in here, give us your 1 through 8 real quick and type it up and we'll read them out loud. But we're gonna go through real quick and do some honorable mentions on franchises. We'll all rotate around. So I'll go first. The Living Dead series, like, Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead. Are good. Yep. I love all the zombie movies. And somebody actually asked that, why don't y'all rank the zombie movies? And we could do that down the road.
Yep.
Josh, what you got?
I said the VHS series, man. I found myself really digging those. Not every story is like good, but like there's enough in there to like, and there's so many stories in each movie. Like I said, there's just enough in there to like. But I just couldn't put it on my top 10. But I do enjoy the VHS series.
So Johnny Horror, I mean, I do want to say this. Halloween 2018 and even Halloween Kills are pretty solid movies.
Yeah.
Just Halloween Ends to me just sucks the worst of sucks.
Yeah. Halloween
and
Kills
actually we've talked about this. I may be going in April to the filming sites in Wilmington, North Carolina. To a Michael Myers house is doing a convention there. They're going to have the new Mr. Loomis is going to be there signing autographs. So that's something I may be going to in April. But yeah, it should be fun.
Hey, so The Shape of Horror says saw both in theaters and wasted so many hours sitting on a seat. That is true. I think he's talking about Exorcist Believer and Halloween Ends. But I didn't see Halloween Ends in the theater. By the time, listen, Gregory, by the time Mike bought 3 tickets, bought popcorn and drinks for everybody, it was about $100, wasn't it, Mike?
Yeah.
Well, what you could do, Johnny Horror, is watch Halloween 1, then watch Halloween 2018. You could watch Halloween Kills, and then watch like the last 15 minutes of Halloween Ends. Perfect ending to the
Wait a minute.
Oh my gosh.
Then he would
all right, y'all go ahead and y'all put your top 8 franchises in here. Let's go around. Josh, you said VHS. Greg, what you got?
I have 2. I like the Resident Evil series. which I totally forgot about.
We're just saying one right now, Gregory.
Fine, Resident Evil series.
I had Saul on mine, which you guys already mentioned, but it was not mentioned. So I had the It.
It?
Well, the old one and the two new ones.
Right.
Oh, okay. Well,
so you know what one of mine was, and it is a series that I like, and I don't know why, because they get so cheesy as they go on, but I've enjoyed them, and that's the Tremor series, guys.
Oh, those are good too, actually.
I like Tremors 1 and 2 are like, I like those a lot, but like anything past that, it gets really cheesy, but I enjoy them for what they are. The first Tremors is one of my favorite.
Like when they brought Jamie Kennedy into the series as the son of what's his face from the first one or something like that. Like they're related or whatever.
Yep. Yeah. So do you want to read Michelle's list out, Mike?
Yeah, Scream, Halloween, and Saw. That's her top 3.
Okay, that's respectable. So she says she loves Tremors. That's her dad's favorite. Yeah, my father-in-law loves Tremors, so that's pretty cool. So this is Old Restless's, Mike, if you want to read that one out.
Yeah, he's got Scream, Friday the 13th, Final Destination, and Nightmare on Elm Street.
Those are good.
Okay.
Johnny never put his list. He said
my list is
he's typing his up. He's got 8 of them.
Mike, do you want to say another one for you, buddy?
Well, I got one here, but I was going to let Greg go first. Greg, you got any more?
Oh, now I can say a second one? Yes, I like the Conjuring series. That also has Patrick
One
Wilson.
of the biggest money makers out there, right?
Oh, yeah. No, it is the top horror franchise ever.
They got probably 20 movies when you take all the division the way it goes. But
so what was that reaction there, Josh? You're like,
because those movies are freaking bad, dude.
Well, they have a whole universe. You got the Conjuring, you got the Annabelle, which some of those are horrible, and then you got the
Nun.
La Llorona.
The Nun is the biggest offshoot.
And the Nun.
Yeah.
The Nun 1 and 2 are actually very good movies because I like how they use the blood of Christ to kill the evil.
Dude, I do love the Nun. The Nun's NECA figure is really good too. I love that figure. Though I haven't I watched the first Nun and I didn't think it was that good, but I haven't seen the second one, to be fair.
You should watch it.
Okay, so wait, we got Old Restless. Tremors 1 is so great, but man, as a franchise, it stinks. Well, I didn't say it was good. I just said the first 2 were good, but wait. Michelle says, is Orphan a series? Can't remember. No, there's only 2, honey. Yeah. No, they're going to come out.
They're coming out with a third one.
Hey, Amadeus Grimes has got a list here, Mike, if you want to read that.
Yeah, Amadeus says Saw, then Scream, Halloween, The Purge, which Purge is good, Friday 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Child's Play, and Fear Street. That's a solid list. Very solid list.
Oh, I forgot about Fear Street. Actually, was a solid trilogy.
Somebody likes Child's Play. Thank you. And I've never seen the Purge movies.
I need to watch the Purge. I've only seen one of the Purge movies. I need to watch them.
So one of mine that almost made, and this is the last one I'm going to say, this almost made my top 8, and I may be kind of kicking myself in the ass on this now. I'm thinking more about it. But the whole X, Pearl, and Maxine.
Oh.
Those three together.
They were good.
X was really good.
X
Maxine was pretty good. Pearl was probably my least favorite of the 3, but those 3 together, pretty darn good little franchise.
Yes. No, you're right, Mike. I'm sad that we don't get to see her as Maxine again, because or Pearl. I mean, she's an incredible actress. And I really like it. I'm going to say one that maybe we didn't think about because it is, but that's the Underworld series. That's vampires and werewolves. And I like those. I think they're I think the second one is the one I really like, where is my favorite. But I really enjoy the Underworld series, to be honest.
Yeah. What about A Quiet Place? Do you consider A Quiet Place horror?
Yeah, that's 3 movies. Yep.
3 movies right there too.
Okay, so do you want to bring up? Oh, Gregory, do you have one more you want to say before we bring up the polls?
You just named some that I probably would have said, but I like those also.
Okay, let's bring up the 3 polls here. So go down the first one, Mike. What's the first one here?
The first one says, "What's your favorite franchise?" These were the polls we put out this week, and you guys had answered on these. But it says this first one had. Let me make sure I can see it here. Had 108 votes. And the question was, what's your favorite franchise out of these choices? And it was Blade, Friday the 13th, Pumpkinhead, and Halloween. And a very close vote. It was 44 to 43, Friday the 13th over Halloween. Wow. Probably just one vote made the decision. Blade got 9% and Pumpkinhead 5%.
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about Leprechaun.
Yeah, so did everybody else.
Mike said we should talk about bad franchises on another
I think we ought to do a top 8 or top 10 bad franchises.
I don't know if I can think of 10, but
Johnny likes the female-only Ghostbusters. There is no Blade 7 and Insidious 6. There's no Insidious 6. What did they do, like 5 of them, I think?
Wait, he said female-only Ghostbusters. That's going to get a lot of heat, brother. That movie was horrible.
Moment. It had its moments.
No, it was bad.
I agree with Johnny Horror. I was not a big fan. I'm sorry. I was not a big fan of number 3. I know Josh liked it.
I enjoyed it.
I did not like it.
We liked all of them.
I didn't like it.
I enjoyed it.
It was a prequel. It was a filler movie. They're doing an actual third one.
So Old Restless says, surprised nobody mentioned the Phantasm series. Now, you know what? I'll admit it. I've never seen any of those movies, and I need to right that wrong this year. I need to watch some of those. Mike, are you?
I've seen a couple of them, but I need to go back and watch them all again. So I was talking about my favorites. So, that slender dude, with the freaking sphere with the razors and all that in it. I mean, that looks pretty spooky, but yeah, I didn't want to comment on something I hadn't seen all the movies on.
Here's Johnny Horror's real list: Friday the 13th, Halloween, and
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on
Elm Street. Yep, those are tippy top, man. Though I didn't have them. I didn't have any of those on my list. If you didn't notice that, I tried to change it up a bit.
So we got right here. The second one we had, which was just one day ago, is your favorite franchise was Final Destination, Child's Play, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Predator. And it was a pretty close race. Nightmare on Elm Street won 34-32, and then Child's Play was 22, and then Final Destination was only 12%.
Okay.
And then the last one was 5 days ago, and it was Saw, Hellraiser, Alien, and Leprechaun, and Alien blew them away, 52. The next closest was Saw with 29, and then Hellraiser 17, Leprechaun 2. So thank you guys for voting on that too, because it looks like we had 59. I don't know how many was on this last one, but that's a pretty good amount voted for our channel. So thank you guys. Yeah. We're going to try. Josh does that and does a really good job of that. Trying to keep everybody engaged and voting in polls and stuff. So, but also let us know, when we do those questions, maybe Josh will put something out there or I'll put something out there. Let us know what you would like to. Yeah. Tall man. I called him skinny man, but tall man. You're right.
Johnny Horror said these lists are fun, and we have a great time with them, don't we, guys?
Yeah, we do. It's all about fun, having fun anyway. So, but yeah, I mean, tell us some ideas, maybe we'll put some questions out on the YouTube community and just say, hey, what do you guys want us to talk about? What other kind of list you want, tier list, some other live shows. Maybe we need to have some guests on occasionally and let Gregory, myself, and Josh just really give somebody a hard time on here live. I don't know. But we're having a good time doing it, right, Josh?
Yeah.
Greg?
That'd be fun.
Yep. So I don't know what we're going to, we do one live a month, and I think that's a good schedule. I think we can maintain that, right, guys? I mean, it's pretty easy to maintain just one live a month. Johnny Horror said, wait, do you want to get it started on this one, Mike?
I haven't even seen that
yet. I think we can spend 5 minutes on it.
Okay.
I haven't seen it. I don't want to hear spoilers.
So, Johnny Horror, let me ask you first, have you seen The Substance?
No spoilers. I haven't seen it.
I will say this without giving spoilers up in case people haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I thought okay.
He said yes.
So I thought the visuals for this movie were incredible.
Yes,
the filming was incredible. The sound was incredible.
I agree.
I thought 3/4 of the movie was incredible.
Yeah.
And then the last quarter of it just lost me. I felt like I was going back and watching Basket Case from 1978.
Listen, Demi Moore, excellent in this movie.
She won a Golden Globe.
And I love the story, too. Even the younger version of Demi Moore was really good in this. I love the story about, sorry, Gregory. I mean, kind of know. I mean, but like just doing more and more and more, like the younger version, you could see your younger self, like my younger self. Like, I know I'm only 41, but the younger self of me, would want to be more and more active and not the older version. So like you'd want to do all that stuff. But like what I'm saying is the third act just totally took me out of it. I know some people love that body horror, Mike, and they did. But I did not like the third act either. It totally went off a cliff for me. But I do think it is still a really good movie, except for that. And Johnny Horror says, yeah, well, he said he loved it. And then he said, yeah, the ending was like Barbarian, a little goofy. Yeah.
Yeah, and Barbarian was really great and spooky up to I thought the very end too. And then it was like, some things you just don't need to see.
Michelle said that would have been my number one movie of 2024, except for the ending. And I do agree that was an excellent movie. Old Rustin says, does the ending ruin the whole movie? No, because you can still appreciate everything about it. But the ending is bad where it knocks it down pegs for me. Gregory, you might love it. I mean, you do love Scream 3 a lot, so you might love this. I don't know.
Hardly has anything to do with Scream 3, but I know Demi Moore won a Golden Globe, so I definitely want to see it now.
Grimes says Jaws is the type of movie that only needs one movie. I agree with that, though I do enjoy the second one.
Yep.
The makers of Barbarian, or it's like from the producers or makers or whatever, there is another movie coming out with Dennis Quaid's son, who was in Scream 5.
Companion.
So, yeah, it looks.
Yeah, Companion looks pretty good.
Pretty weird, but it looks good. So I'm gonna
Johnny Horror says still worth a watch, Greg. Even though
I will. Yep.
I want to see. We're talking about. I know we're kind of going off, and we need to end this here in the next 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, whatever. But you got January. You got The Damned. You got Wolfman. You got Presence. And is there another one coming out right there? I want to see The Presence. Have y'all seen the preview for that one?
I've never even heard of that.
It's a take on a ghost movie in which the point of view is you're the ghost. So it was something very different because you see like people around a table, people in bed, and then like something's coming towards him, and the point of view video and it's the ghost coming towards him.
Well, I'm going to tell you one thing that it gives me reservation because they tried that last year with In a Violent Nature from the point of view of the slasher killer, and it didn't work for me, brother.
But it's the point of view of a ghost, which makes it feel like you're the ghost looking at people in the world of the living. That's creepy to me, actually.
Yeah.
Johnny Horror says Megan 2.0. I'm looking forward to that movie, man. And if they do what I think they might do with it, I think it's actually going to work really well, Mike.
They should make it rated R this time.
My only concern with Megan 2.0 is they know it's a cash cow, and are they going to sell out so that all these little girls and boys go buy that Megan doll?
That's what concerns me with it. I bought the Megan NECA figure.
Like I just said, all the little boys and girls will go buy that Megan doll.
Well, Megan has an unrated version, which I think we have it on Blu-ray, but they should make this one rated R or come out with an unrated version later if they need to do that too.
Yep. Okay, well, I think we should probably end it unless there's any other questions or anything. I mean, thanks for asking some questions in the chat towards the end. I enjoyed that. Thank you guys for doing that.
And you got some new people on here, it looks like, too.
Yeah, we actually had, I think this is probably one of our better crowds we've had, isn't it, Mike, honestly?
Yeah, there's actually there's a college football game going on right now. Can you believe that?
You also got your first Super Chats on your first live of Super Chat.
So that goes, yep. The $10 one goes to me, and the $9.99 one goes to Mike. So
hey, I'll take that. So thank you, Megan. Thank you, Michelle, for the $9.99 $10 Super Chat.
So Amadeus Grimes does have a question. He says, "Does Greg collect horror like Mike and Josh autographs?
No, I would like to go to a horror con. Really, the only people I want to meet is Nev Campbell, Skeet Ulrich, and Matthew Lillard from Scream.
You'll be waiting for hours, right, Mike?
If that's the only ones I want to meet, then it would be worth it. But yeah, I think I would love to do that at some point.
You should, man. I mean, you live in California. You're like in the right air state for it, isn't you, Mike?
I will say a couple of years out, Greg, but mark your calendar on this. H50. I'm coming there for a week. And I'm going to go see all the original filming sites of Halloween. I'm going to go to the H50 convention. That's a couple years out, maybe 3 years out. But Gregory, Lord willing, I'm going to be there.
Hey, Gregory, Old Wrestle says you need a Roman autograph.
I don't think he does. I forgot.
No, he doesn't do cons. I wish he did, because I'd get his autograph, and I know Mike would too. Even though, he's like the least. You wouldn't, Mike? Whatever.
I don't want his autograph.
Wait, you want Corey's autograph?
Yeah. Not. All right, guys. We could talk all night long. Y'all have a good one.
See you now. Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys. Thanks.